We're now live. What's on? Is that going to
Yep.
say and go?
Yep.
Holy dooly. We're ahead of the game today, Dale. This is gold.
As long as they can hear you.
Can everyone hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Rick Smith, Haverwood Tiny Homes. Haven't got any sidekicks today. I'm free balling, so help me out. If you've got
free balling. Oh my gosh, I'm going.
Thanks, Dale, for setting me up. So
Okay.
we're good to go. But hey, listen, yeah. If you've got any questions, make sure you build them up on the screen there. Got my glasses on. I'm good to go and ready to get up in amongst it. Get yourself a drink. I've got myself a cup of tea here. I'm good to go. So settle in. I'm going to rattle on for about half an hour or so and answer any questions. If you've got any questions, make sure you bung them up on the Google, and I'll endeavour to answer all those, as we've got a whole host of questions that have come in during the week as well. So I'll get in amongst that as well. So, but I've got some exciting news. I'm not going to tell it now. I'm just going to wait till the end of the segment, and then I'm going to rattle on what that's all about. And also, don't forget, next weekend, the weekend coming, so not today, next weekend, we've got our big sale day. We've got some huge discounts on offer. It's our expansion sale. So we've got homes that are, they've done their day, what would you call it? They've served their purpose in upgrading to the bigger homes. We've got we've got some Tucker Rest for sale. We've also got some Bow Rivers for sale, heavily discounted. So to allow for our expansion sale. Now, expansion, what are we expanding? Well, in short, our display site, we're actually expanding. We've negotiated with the owners of the property. We're actually doubling the size of our display village, which is absolutely awesome. And you wouldn't read about it. Not only are we on the main drag of the Princess Highway, but across the road, next to Bunnings, they're building a super centre. Wow, you've got to be happy with that. So the traffic flow is going to be absolutely awesome. I'm just trying to negotiate a deal now with the RMS so we can get a slip lane straight into our site, because we've had a lot of our customers and people that have been there for the first time. How do you get in? Because it's one of those sites, if you drive past it, you've seen it, you've actually missed the entry. So it's a bit of a headache there, but once you've been there once, you know what's going on, and you can jump straight into the site. So hang around for that exciting news. But just while you're getting settled in, a funny story. I think I mentioned to you, my olds are getting a bit long in the tooth, and anyway, we're moving them down. We've got Dad into care in a local place, and then Mum's moving in with us here on the farm, and I popped in to see Dad. It's really good because where Dad's staying, he's just on my way home for work, so I can slip in for 15 minutes each day and say, "G'day, Dad, how you going?" So which is great, So he's got a bit of dementia setting in, and but his body itself, he's 85 years old, still got plenty of strength and stuff like that. But Dad's a classic. I pop in there one afternoon, he's sitting up in bed, and pop in and say, "G'day, Chief, how you going?" So yeah, "G'day, boy, what's going on?" And I go and sit up next to him, and with the dementia and that, he's obviously, he forgets he's not real agile on the feet. He obviously can't walk by himself. He needs a bit of assistance. Once he gets rolling, he's on a roll, he's good to go, So anyway, I'm sitting up in bed there with him, and we're chatting away, and as we're sitting down there in bed, sitting on his bed, there's this old fellow who goes past the door on a walker, he's just shuffling along, and Dad looks up at him, then he looks over to me. He said, Yeah, poor old mate. He's not doing so good, eh? Oh, Dad, you're a classic, man. I said, "You're not even walking, man. What's going on?" Oh, you've got to laugh, eh? Old fellow, I tell you what, he's full of fire. He's gold. I love my Dad heaps. Anyway, I've got a heap of questions, so if you've got any more questions, make sure you bung them up on the screen, and I'll endeavour to answer those as I go through the questions we've had during the week, So anyway, without any further ado, number one, I notice a lot of your roofs are flat roofs. Do you still do the pitch roof model? Yeah, we've had a bit of a run at the moment on the flat roof model. So a couple of things. Obviously, with a flat roof model, they're a bit cheaper to build, because they're not as labour intensive as the pitch roof models. There's a lot more flashings and valleys and gutters and lots of stuff going on with the pitch roof models. So what happens is it's a couple of grand extra to go for the pitch roof. The flat roof's a bit cheaper to build, so we obviously pass that saving on to the clients, and that's hence a lot of our flat roof models are going through. Plus two, I guess at the end of the day, it does give you more ceiling height in the top floors. So you can actually walk around the whole bedroom rather than just maybe 2/3 of the bedroom at full standing height. So not that it necessarily matters a lot, because the way we position the master bed, you've still got plenty of room to stand upright, walk around in the critical areas, still standing fully upright. So yeah, but we find that you get waves. So 1 minute we'll have all this model coming through, then there'll be all this flat roof model, then there'll be pitch roofs, you know. So it's just the lay of the land, just sort of what happens on the day, you know. So what model are you taking down to the Melbourne Tiny House Show? Well, this is a combination. You may, if you've been following us for a while, we've got a new model called the Charlo. Now that's an exceptional model. Now this model, I can't take the full credit for it. We actually co-designed it with a client from down in Victoria, Joe. This model, which has got a master bedroom downstairs, a hallway, a walk-past bathroom, and kitchen, lounge room all on the ground floor, and 2 massive rooms upstairs, you know. So combination of that, we've just built another specky. So we've taken the best out of that and combined it with our Charlo model, and we've come up with this 3-bedder. But what I'm excited about is it's got 2 of the bedrooms, huge rooms, 2.3 by 2.8 metre bedrooms, both of them full standing height, and it's got this massive corner window in each of the bedrooms, okay? So ground floor bedroom, master bedroom straight above it, so both bedrooms straight above each other, huge 2.2 by 1.2 corner window, so all the way around like this wraparound window. Ground floor, top floor, wow, it's just coming together now. We've had to, because we've I was going to take the Glamburn tent model down to Melbourne, but I thought, no, I reckon it's our first show down in Melbourne. I want to take down just something that's right up there in amongst it, sort of appealing to that Melbourne inner city, young hipster sort of show happening. So hence we've fast-tracked this design. Our kitchen company, Benny's Kitchens, are smashing the kitchen through for us. Bradman's Windows are driving home some windows for us, so we're belting it in. This has come from nowhere. We're just going to make it happen, and it's going to be good to go for the Melbourne show. So haven't got the name of that model yet, because it's actually based on our 11th grandchild that hasn't been born yet. So, as you may be aware, we name all of our tiny homes after our kids, after our grandchildren. So this one here, we're just waiting for that grandchild to be born. So unless she's premature, or he or she or whatever it is, premature, then we won't have a name for the Melbourne show, but it's going to look good. It's sharp as a tack. So really excited. Putting a couple of little extra bits of flair in amongst it. I'm actually, on our deck and awnings, we typically put in the treated pine decking. But what we're finding during transport, that adds about an extra 120 kilos to the weight of the tiny home with the treated pine decking on it. So we're trying something a bit different. So we're going to do some acid washed checker plate flooring over the whole deck. It's going to save us about 100 kilos, but I think it's going to look pretty flash. So we're going to give it a go, see what you reckon. Anyway, if you've got nothing on, pop down the show, come down and see. Faye's put the turnout on. I don't even know what suburb it's in. It's down there somewhere down in Melbourne. Faye's got that going, so really looking forward. We might get a couple of snippets up to into Faye there, so she can get them up online so you can see what we're bringing down. So I'm really excited about taking that new model down to the Melbourne show. How's your bill queue going? It's going really well. We put on a couple extra staff since Christmas. We've also started a second assembly line. And, man, we're just belting them through. I'm so stoked with the staff. I mean, man, if I could afford to give all these guys a pay rise, I would, because they're just, like, I'm out on the road, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, chatting materials, suppliers, all this extra stuff. And the staff are just so performing. I'm really excited. I just want to give a shout-out to the guys, because I'm really, I guess, stoked with the way they're working together as a team. And everybody's good at everything, so we're really excited about that. So we've got a note from Moe here. You're going to run out of names unless you have grandkids keep popping out. Yeah, that's right. Or keep banging out some more grandkids. That's what I keep telling kids, man, breed more Aussies, man. Let's just start the show on the road. You know, just keep it happening, you know. So. So in regards to, oh, I didn't even actually give you an answer to that, did I? What we've actually done with the extra staff, the second assembly line, we've actually dropped off our 9-day start dates for tiny homes back to about 4 days. So every 4 working days, we're starting a new tiny home. What that's done is brought my build queue forward around about, it goes to about 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. So, which is so exciting because we're just banging them out quicker. Which hence the reason for the expansion sale, to pick up the extra land, to store the tiny homes while we're waiting for kitchens. So, yeah, it's really exciting. So, it's sort of blown me out of the water. I thought high-rise was fanatical, but this is this is going mad. Okay. Is Stu going to do any more lives with you? Oh, listen, this is a bugbear for me. Can you believe Stu joins me last? I thought, I'll bring one of the beautiful people, one of the young fellas on that not an old dinosaur like me. And can you believe this, right? The lookers or whatever you do when people look at or like it or watch it or whatever the case is doubled. Just because you bring in some young-looking, hipster-looking, beautiful people person. So I'm offended. Come on, people. Let's jump up the plate with old Rico. But listen, hey, I'll bring Stu back on board if he's got the time, because he's got 5 boys. Can you work that out? He's got 5 boys. Man, Beck, his wife, she's absolutely, mate, she's a machine. 5 boys? I've only got 1 boy and I'm flat out. So imagine that, 5 boys. So Stu, yeah, I'll hit him up and see if he can come and do a few more lives with us. So it's pretty exciting. I really enjoy working with Stu. He's as I mentioned the other week, I've tried to clone him a little bit. Maybe not the rough edges, just the good stuff, you know. So, okay, number 5. I've been trying to join the new forum you start on your webpage, but it won't let me join. Okay, you may be aware we've started a new forum for all of our existing clients or clients that have actually under construction with us with Havenwood. This is pretty exciting. It was actually recommended by a couple of our clients out west, Joel and Paula. They actually suggested, why don't you start a web page where, so clients can chat to each other, offer ideas, talk about stuff that helps them into their tiny house move and stuff like that. So thank you, Joel and Paula, for recommending that. So we've actually introduced that into our, I guess, web page. And all of our clients, or not all of them, but our clients are starting to jump on board now, showing their photos, what they've been doing, what they're up to. So it's really exciting. It's really positive, and thank you for all those that are participating in it, because we're just trying to give people that experience. That so it's an ongoing excitement and fun and just talking it up, because this lifestyle, by comparison to living in a house with $1 million mortgage, I'll tell you what, it just doesn't get any better than that. So, so it's so exciting. We've just set that up in the last week. A lot of our clients are jumping on board with it, and it's really positive, and which is so good. So thank you for recommending that, Joel and Paula. Do you do wallpaper in your homes? To date, we haven't. Shani's been chafing at the bed. She's got a couple of brands of wallpaper that she's imported and wants to bung them up on the wall. So I think the one we're taking down to Melbourne, I think she's got ideas to do a few wallpaper walls. Now, this is not just wallpaper like old school, bit of stuff on the wall, you know, the old school patterns, flowers and stuff like that. This is like sort of really, like, it could be a brick pattern, but real bricks. Like this is like real bricks that have been photographed, turned into murals, and it looks unbelievable. So to answer that question, we haven't done it to date, but we're looking to introduce that into some of our homes. But I think at the moment it's just time. We're just trying to bang them out. So and obviously a lot of our homes now at the moment are custom homes for clients. So we're just doing addressing all their needs, you know. So okay, number 7. Seems like there's a bit of a downturn in the housing market. In the housing market. How's that affected you? Well, it's funny. I mean, typically for Havenwood, I'm not sure about the other tiny house companies, typically for us in the January, February market months, it's a little bit quieter in regards to people securing a tiny home. I think because they're sort of maxed out their MasterCard and their debit cards over the Christmas break and stuff like that, they let the dust settle before they start to invest into something else. So, I mean, that's just been typical over the last 2-3 years for us. But in saying that, I know we've probably got 35, 36 people sitting on the fence just waiting to do their final selections and press a button on their final design. So it's not easy, because I've actually had people sort of ask me, oh Rick, if you're going to buy a tiny home, which of your designs would you buy? And I sort of figured, well, it's really, it's horses for courses. You know, you might have a family, you might have kids, you might be on your own. So we've got sort of models designed for all wakes of life. So there's a whole host of different designs there. So depending on what you're after and what sort of meets your needs, I mean, for me, I'd live in a tent, you know. It's just no problem. But I've got to try with kids and meet with foster kids and all sorts of stuff. Listen, I've got to talk about this. Very moving day today. As you're aware, we foster children. And today, 3 of our foster children actually not only had given their heart to the Lord, but also got baptised today in the South Beach at Shell Harbour. So it was a pretty big afternoon for us, and to see these kids just loving life and to moving forward in their life, to not only give their heart to the Lord, but also then to actually want to get baptised, was pretty moving for us as foster carers. So huge day for the foster kids, you know. So I'm pretty excited about it, and that was their choice. There's no influence from us. Well, I guess influence in the respect of showing them, you know, to live well and live right. But ultimately, it was their choice to want to get baptised. So that was pretty exciting for us as carers, you know. So in regards to the market, I think I've answered that question. I haven't seen any more of your tent-looking structure. Where is that up to? Oh, our glamping tent. Oh, it's on the road. It's like it's good to go, but it's up to me now. I've been that flat out. Because our carpenters are carpenters. They're not fabric designers, you know what I mean? So it's up to me now to get in this glamping tent to do the final fabric layout, so I can give it to our curtain manufacturer to knock up the final thing. I've just been that flat out for the last couple of weeks to get that sorted. So I'm hoping to do that not this week, I'm too busy this week. I'm hoping to do that next week. Get that sorted, get our final draping organised, the chandelier happening, the clawfoot bath on the deck. It's all happening, but it will get released in the next month or so. I've just been a bit under the pump to get that finalised. So looking forward to hitting the market with that soon. Oh, a bit of exciting news on that too. Our registered design mark on that has been approved. So it's registered now. So that sort of, I guess, gives us a bit of security with that design. It is something new that we're introducing to the market. Once we get it out there, I reckon you're going to be really impressed. Really, I think appealing to maybe the wedding venue places, B&B market. So that's going to be exciting once we get that up on the road. Number 9, I love watching your videos on the deliveries. Can you do more footage? Oh, I mean, I'd love to, and I'd love to send someone on every trip to go on for, like, get the video camera and the cameras going on the whole stuff. But it's just I suppose because, especially grills, we're focused on the delivery. There's so much involved. When you start delivering 4.6 metre homes, 3.5 metres wide, and you're skull dragging them through properties, whether it be with a local farmer and his tractor or our own truck or whatnot, it's hard work, and you're focused. The last thing you're thinking about is getting videos of it. But in due course, I'm hoping to be able to afford to get someone on the payroll to actually video all of our deliveries and all that sort of stuff. We do get a lot of info through from the clients. They're videotaping it as it comes in. But I think, I mean, what I love about it, I think it sort of brings to reality that with tiny home deliveries, whether it be our tiny home or someone else's around Australia, they're not always easy deliveries because people want them in these areas which are out the back of the bush somewhere and through up and down ravines and creeks and escarpments and all sorts of things. So I think it's something that I'd love to bring more often, and in due course we'll be able to introduce that a lot more. But talking about deliveries, well, I just got word through the other day, our new delivery truck has arrived from, actually, I don't even know where they make it. Hino, where do they make Hinos? China? Wherever, wherever they make Hinos. It's come in now. We're just pimping it up. It's probably going to take us about 6 to 8 weeks to get it fully pimped. I've got my super singles going on. I've got a custom tray going on the back, my bull bar, my winch. I mean, this is a 4-wheel drive delivery truck. This is, I was going to call it the poor man Dodge Ram, but this is, heckin' Tommy, they don't get much change out of a Dodge Ram, but it's more than a Dodge Ram, I'll tell you that right, Tommy. Put all the bling on it. Holy dooly. So, but what that does, it puts us in a great position because some clients have no access to organise to get their get a neighbour's tractor or something like that, you know. So body cams, oh Moe, yeah, that's brilliant. Body cams, actually, maybe we could do that like the coppers do. Yeah, got a little camera on the front of their chest here, so as they're delivering the tiny home, all their stuff they're talking about, and the delivery, and we'll have to have this automatic blip button there to block out all the swearing that probably goes when you hit a hole or a tree or something like that, or bogged. It's like, whoa! There'd be lots of blipping going on to blip out all the swear words, you know. So, but Grills, he's I mean, this guy is great, man. This guy is gold. He doesn't work for us full time. He just does a lot of our interstate deliveries. And anyway, he's going for a new position, doing the Snowy Mountain Run. And I had a lady ring me as a reference on Grills for the Snowy Mountain Run, driving trucks, you know. And anyway, I was spieling away, and she's loving it. And I said, hang on a second. I said, is he going to get any time off? She said, yeah. I said, okay, that's good. I can talk well of him then, because as long as I got a couple of days a week to about delivering my tiny homes, I'll tell you how good Grills he is, you know. So, so anyway, I reckon he's got the job, mate. What a legend. And so he should, because he's a great driver, a lot of dedication to what he does. And also at the back end of the job, once at tiny home deliveries, he's got that patience that probably I don't have, to spend with the clients, to get everything set up, and to keep our clients' expectations fulfilled, you know. So hats off to Grillsy, mate. I love this guy. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I've just about rattled through all my questions. Oh no, here's another one here. Look, is there a limit on how many windows you can install into our tiny homes? Well, in actual fact, well, yes, there is, because what happens is I've worked out per square metre, when you install a window, time you account for the glass and the aluminium and the reveals and the architraves and all that sort of stuff, and what it does, it actually adds more weight to the tiny home than the actual framing. We use Bondor, which is a refrigeration panel itself. So the refrigeration panel is lighter. So the way we've got it worked out, our standard windows at the moment into our tiny homes helps us stay right on the weight on our weight limits of 4.5 tonne. But as soon as we start bunging in extra windows, and then you start, if you bung in, if you go for the bifold windows, they're the ones that concertina like this, you know. There's so much framing in those, a heavier glass, a heavier frame, and so the mechanics of those windows just means they're a lot heavier. They're probably double the weight of the same square meterage in the refrigeration panel. So what that does is going to add weight to the home. We just did a tiny home delivery up Coffs Harbour direction, and the home was running well over. So it ended up becoming a 2-man delivery because we had to pull drawers out, ovens out, just pull the deck off, pull the awning off, which meant at the back end of the job on delivery, then we had to reinstall all that stuff. So hence the second man to be able to put all the decks and awnings back on. So it's not a major job, but what it does is just means someone's got to go with our driver grills to make sure that happens. And I put that out to the staff, and we've got a couple of front runners that just put their hand up straight away. I'm going. So really excited about that. So it gives them a taste of actually what happens. So they're not just in the factory. They can go on a delivery and just see what's involved and see the finished result once the home gets delivered to site. So that's all pretty exciting, you know. So, but hey, listen, that's it for my questions today. And everyone's been pretty quiet out there today, so I've had to rattle away and I've got all my questions done and dusters. But listen, what we do have, we've got some giveaways coming up. We've got the Tiny Home Expo that's happening at the Hawkesbury, I think it's about May this year, and we've got some giveaways to give away. We've got one of our clients, Tiny Love Getaways. I mean, mate, these guys have had a tough run. They've just got the tiny home. They've just got it all set up. Then the floods come through and then just trashed the place, like all their farm and that. And then they obviously no one could access it because of all the flood waters. So that sort of canned that time. And then another time, then the floods come back through again. So anyway, just really excited about giving away a couple of tickets. Now, that weekend that we're giving away that tickets, that is the weekend of the Tiny Home Expo at the Hawkesbury. So if you're flying interstate, you're coming from out of town, give us a call, jump in the contest there to be able to look at going to Tiny Love Getaways. Stay for the weekend, couple of nights. They've got farm animals, bring your kids and stuff like that, you know. So it'll be a great weekend. So we've got that. We're going to draw that, not next weekend because we're flat out. We've got our open big sale next weekend. But the weekend after that, we're going to draw the tickets for that, the Tiny Love Getaways. I've got another question over here from Oe. Do you offer throw-in lock-up stages, or does it have to be full package? I'm not sure exactly. Do you offer throw-in lock-up stages, or does it have to be the whole package? Well, in actual fact, we do we just do the lock-up stages. So that's all the external cladding finish, windows in. So it's actually locked up, waterproof. So if you want a home and then you want to be able to fit it out yourself, do your own painting, choose your own flooring, put your own kitchen or cabinetry in and all that sort of stuff, we do that as well. In actual fact, to date, we haven't done that because I think people, once they come on board, they look at our overall competitive prices and then sort of weigh it up and sort of think, well, you know, at the end of the day, you're not actually probably going to save money. It's more the joy of doing it yourself, which is awesome. So we do offer that, but at the end of the day, don't do it to think you're going to save money, but it's more so the joy of being able to do all your interiors and fit it all out yourself. So which we can obviously adhere to that, so there's no problem at all, you know. So talking about the exciting news. Okay, so we've got the display site expansion. Well, that's the reason for the expansion sale. We've been able to chat to the overall owners of the property. We've been able to pick up another a lot of square meters, about basically to double the size of our display village. So that's really really exciting for us. Well, we actually need it because I'm running out of room whilst I'm waiting on kitchens. I might wait 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes in most cases more if it's a custom. Waiting for our kitchens, which means I've got to store tiny homes till I get the kitchens done. Because we smashed them out of the factory, I've got them all backed up, you know. So to get this extra land is actually awesome. So that's part of the exciting news. The next part of the exciting news is that we've just got an offer and acceptance on some land that we're going to acquire, which will be expand our manufacturing. So we've got an existing factory, which obviously we're going to stay on board with and keep that rocking and rolling. But we've also picked up another site now, just waiting for that. I can't tell where it is. I can say it's a stone throw from where we are. So that'll give us another, basically twice the size of the factory we've got now. So having that plus the new factory, so we'll be able to just sort of keep up with the demand and keep the show going. So which is awesome. And so that's pretty exciting. So once that finally exchanges, all things being, it'll be this week, we'll be able to sort of give you that news and let you know what's going on there, you know. So, but listen, I've nearly, I've done all my questions today, but a funny story. Okay, now because, as I mentioned, we've got my mum and dad moving down. Dad's had to go into care, and then mum's moved on to the farm with us. Anyway, funny story. Shani says, "Oh, Rick, we're going to church this morning. We're in a bit of a rush, and Shani's got stuff going on. Rick, you hang the clothes on the line." Yeah, no worries. I'm going to hang the clothes on the line. I said, "Well, don't get used to this, girls. I don't normally hang the clothes on the line. Shani usually does all that. But anyway, this day, I'm out there before we go to church. I'm going to hang the clothes on the line. Anyway, I get out the clothesline, and as I mentioned, we've got mum moved in, and we've got the washing machine in our house, so all the washing comes out of our house, and I got the laundry basket going. I get up the clothesline, I start hanging this stuff up, and I'm thinking, what the heck's this thing? I'm thinking, is this clothes or is it a bed sheet? What? I can't work it out. All this stuff, all these undergarments and stuff going on with elderly people, eh? It's just like a bit of an eye-opener for me, you know. Like I'm a bit young. I'm sort of not that vintage yet, but there's lots of stuff going on, hanging the clothes on the line, you know. So like it's like wow. But hey, listen, I'm done for today. I've rattled on enough. I've covered all my questions. Oh, here's another question here. Is it possible to have a back door at the bathroom, an 8.2 model? Well, Michelle, well, guess what? Yes, we've actually just done that for one of our clients, Jess. We've put a swinging door on the back of the bathroom. So we've got, well, what model is that? That's I think it's a Dawson model. This is the one with the 9.2 bump out. The bathroom at the back of the tiny home. We've actually put an 820mm door, so you've actually got another access to get outside the home. They're going to put a deck out there because they've got another home as well for the elderly boys. We're doing 2 tiny homes. They're going to back them up next to each other, have a deck in the middle, so you actually be able to walk out their back door, their bathroom, onto the deck area. So yeah, for sure. So we can actually do that, no problem at all. So sort of all of those things to a point come under our standard design, but once a few things start to get chopped and changed and that, they've got to go into our custom queue because it's once I start ordering windows, it is possible for us to install windows after we've got it all locked up because of the way we actually build with the flashings and whatnot, but it just makes it harder for security and weatherproofing whilst we're waiting for those windows, because they can't just sit in our factory whilst we're waiting for 2 or 3 weeks for some custom window to come in. We've got all the rest locked up, but if one window's not in, it's hard to secure and to waterproof the home, because obviously it's not going to cover anymore. It's got to go to our display village out in there, but it is all possible. But hey, listen, well, that's it. Me, I'm done today, man. I've rattled on enough there today. I've answered all the questions that have come through. So, but really, don't forget this weekend coming. We've got our sale day. We've got some heavily discounted homes there. Just about move on some stock that's sitting there to obviously to enable us more room to expand and to fit more tiny homes in. So come along. We've got some great discounts there we're offering, and we've also got a heap of homes there to sell. I don't know how many homes over there. There's about, oh gosh, there's display village. I think there's about 15 or 16 homes over there at the moment. Most of those are already sold client homes that are just waiting for kitchens and whatnot. But at least you'll be able to come along. You get a great look at all our different designs and models, and you can see what's going on there, So there's plenty to see, heaps of shapes and sizes, different cladding forms and things like that, which we're just doing one now for a young lady in Jamboree. She's going to be using it as a B&B for Jet, and really excited about this. It's coming together now. It's all her. She's gone and chose her old rusty iron and whatnot, selected a hardwood rough sawn finish on 2 of her walls, and the interiors. I mean, it's really coming together. So there's heaps to see. So by all means, come in next weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We don't normally open Saturday, Sundays, but next weekend we're open Saturday, Sunday. Make sure you come in, come and say good day. Check out what we've got there to see, and it'll definitely give you some great ideas. Even if you're building your own tiny home, pop in, say good day, and happy to give any advice where I can, So thanks for joining us today. I've rattled on enough, and have a great week. And if you've got any questions during the week, make sure you bung them up or bell them through the storm on the internet, and we'll endeavour to answer those next week. Uru.